The last Lamassu. Long before the gods turned their gaze away from man, there were guardians. The Assyrians called them Lamassu, towering spirits with the body of a bull, the wings of an eagle, and the face of a king. They were protectors, placed at the gates of cities to watch, to shield, and to judge. But legends say, when humanity began to forget them, they did not simply vanish, they waited. And one night, one of them awoke. This is Whispers by Dark. It began in modern-day Iraq, near the ruins of Nimrud. A team of archaeologists unearthed something extraordinary, a Lamassu statue, perfectly preserved beneath the sands, untouched for nearly 3,000 years. The excavation leader, Dr. Elias Rahim, called it the best preserved relic of Assyria ever found. But what struck him most were the eyes. Unlike any statue before, its eyes were made of obsidian and lapis lazuli, glimmering even in the dark. When he shined his flashlight over them, he swore the pupils contracted, like a living thing adjusting to light. The locals refused to go near it. They said the Lamassu were not just statues, they were watchers, guardians that once walked among men. And disturbing one from its rest would anger the ancient world. Dr. Rahim dismissed it as superstition. He should have listened. That night, the camp was silent, save for the wind scraping sand across the ruins. Elias stayed up late, documenting the find, when he heard it. A low hum, a vibration from the direction of the statue. At first, he thought it was the generator, but as he stepped closer, the sound shifted into a whisper.
"Gatekeeper, awaken me."
He froze. His radio hissed with static. Then silence. When he reached the Lamassu, its eyes gleamed faintly, reflecting the stars above. Beneath his feet, the ground throbbed, like a heartbeat pushing beneath the sand. He stumbled back, breathing hard, trying to convince himself it was his imagination. But the whisper returned, clearer this time.
"They have forgotten the covenant. The city is unguarded. Open the gates, mortal, before the shadows return."
The next morning, the crew awoke to find half their equipment destroyed. Tents shredded, tracks erased. No signs of theft, just chaos. Local workers claimed they'd seen a wing shaped in the storm overnight, massive like a bull with feathers of ash. Elias dismissed their fear, but when he checked the site, the Lamassu had changed. The statue now stood halfway out of the sand, though no one had moved it. Its head was tilted slightly upward, as if it had taken a breath. Panicking, he called for help from the museum authority in Mosul. But before the convoy arrived, a sandstorm unlike any they'd seen rolled in. For 12 hours, visibility dropped to 0. The radio went dead, and one by one, the people in camp began to vanish. When the storm cleared, Elias was the only one left. He wandered the ruins in a daze, calling out for his team. All that answered was wind. Then, beneath the buried gate of the ancient palace, he found footprints, massive, cloven like a bull's, but deep and scorched as if burned into stone. They led him to a cavern beneath the city ruins. There stood the Lamassu, but now it moved. Its wings unfurled slowly, feathers shimmering like molten bronze. Its face, once still and serene, was now alive, eyes glowing with cold, divine fury.
"You broke the seal,"
It said, voice echoing like thunder.
"You called me for my arrest, yet the world no longer honors my name."
Elias fell to his knees, trembling. "I didn't mean to. I thought you were a relic." The Lamassu lowered its gaze.
"The relics of gods are never without purpose. You sought knowledge, but opened a gate long closed. The shadows return, the ones we guarded against.
The cavern trembled. Behind the Lamassu, shapes began to move. Black silhouettes, tall and distorted, crawling from cracks in the walls. Their bodies shimmered like heat waves, faces hollow.
They were once men.
Said the Lamassu.
Now they are forgotten, fed by fear, born of neglect. When humanity turned from its protectors, they returned.
Elias backed away, heart pounding. What do I do? Tell me how to stop them. The Lamassu stared into him, as if weighing his soul.
You cannot stop what you do not believe. Only faith restores balance. Only memory gives us form.
The ground cracked open, and the shadow figures lunged toward him. Elias screamed, but before they reached him, the Lamassu struck the ground with its hoof. A blinding flash of light engulfed the chamber. When Elias opened his eyes, he stood alone again at the excavation site. The Lamassu statue was buried once more, silent and still. Had it all been a vision? Then he noticed the sand beneath him, scorched in the shape of wings. Elias returned home, broken and silent. He never spoke of what happened in Nimrod, but 3 years later, he began to dream of wings. He'd wake up covered in dust, footprints of ash leading from his bed to the window, and in the quiet hours before dawn, he could still hear the whisper.
The gates must not fall again.
Some say the Lamassu never left, only sleep, waiting for the day mankind forgets what they once guarded against. And judging by the world today, perhaps they're already waking. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to hear more scary stories. Thanks for watching, and you stay safe out there, folks, and we'll see you in the next one.